I am going to recap a 1998 romance drama movie. Name the second wife. So, let's begin. Anna, a single mother of a little young girl, Centine, remarries an older man, Fosco, with a teenage son, Livio. During the marriage ceremony, one of the community's aunts, Fernanda, offers to keep Centine with her while Anna and Fosco go on their honeymoon in Paris. During the party, all the community members comment on the marriage. While some comment that the wedding will wear Fosco out, some think it's the right choice. Livio, on the other hand, wears black glasses that conceal all of his expression. When it's time for pictures, Fosco asks Livio to remove his glasses and comments to Anna that it's always apparent when Livio isn't happy. After the official wedding ceremony, all the guests leave the ceremony and the newest couple, Anna and Fosco, go home to prepare for their honeymoon. That night as they pack their loads, one of Fosco's friends calls him to check an antique. He follows his friend to check it, and they tell him the truck is empty, so he enters to confirm. While at home, Livio enters the house thinking his stepmother is out. He sees her, and he is shocked. She talks to him with a radiant smile on her face and asks him what he wants as a gift from Paris. Meanwhile, Fosco enters the truck. His friend informs him the police are coming, so they all escape and hide until the police leaves. He returns late in the night, makes out with Anna and tells her they will go on their honeymoon the following day. The next day as planned, they both leave for their honeymoon leaving Centine behind and Livio. They return a few days after, and Centine hugs her mother. Anna goes to Centine and Fernanda. She gives Fernanda the gift she brought back for her from Paris and asks about the well-being of her little girl. Fernanda asks her what she views about Fosco, and she tells her he is weird. To comfort her, she tells her all men are weird too. Fosco goes to meet Livio. He gives him a gift that seems like a pencil with a nude woman drawn on it. Livio takes this pencil to his naive friends, and they talk about how it is to have intercourse with a woman. Anna gets closer to other community members as they all talk and gist about how Paris is and all her experience in Paris. While they talk, they overhear Fosco insulting Livio for not packing the truck correctly. He tells him he has to learn how to defend himself and not be a useless person like his uncle as he can't cater for two different useless people. As they leave for home, Anna tries to tell Fosco that the way he speaks to Livio isn't good, and he can talk to him in a much more friendly manner. Fosco insists Livio is used to it, and he is sure Livio isn't as burdened as Anna is making it seem. The next day, Fosco travels with his truck and tells his family he will be back in 3 days. On the first day away, Livio goes to his uncle's place. His uncle asks him if the marriage has changed his father for the better. He replies affirmatively but still says Fosco can't be changed entirely. He returns home that evening after eating at his uncle's place, so when Anna asks him to eat the dinner she prepared, he tells her he has eaten, and she warns him to tell her such before she cooks. That evening, she didn't find her child in her room. She checks Livio's room and finds Centine beside Livio, who is just on panties. Concerned, she asks Centine to go to bed immediately, but the girl refuses. She says Livio is reading a story to her, and she wants to listen till it finishes and asks her mother to join them. Reluctantly, Anna joins them. Fosco arrives from his trip the morning of his scheduled arrival. He plays with Centine while Anna engages Livio in a conversation about the romantic books she reads. She tells him the book may not be practical, but it's romantic. Fosco arrives with Centine and mentions eating ass in front of this young girl, which angers Anna. They settle it and watch a sport, after which Fosco and his friends go grave hunting, and Fosco finds a gold statue. He refuses to give his friends, and shockingly, he hears some little kids asking him to show them the statue. He returns home angrily to ask Anna if she is the one that told everyone about the statue. Anna suggests the kids probably heard it when she was telling Fernanda. Fosco gets angry, but Livio defends Anna saying grave hunting is a usual thing in their society and almost everyone knows about ghost hunting. Their dinner table gets divided, and Livio walks out. While Centine goes to play Firefly, Anna and Fosco make out. Fosco tells her he hasn't figured her out yet, but he will ensure he does. The following day, Livio and his friends go to the waterside. As usual, they strip naked and swim in the water while a young lady who has always checked them out watches them and touches herself. That night, due to the heat, Livio says on the tree, and Anna walks there to continue her book. He asks her to join him on the tree, but she refuses. She sits down, and they engage in a conversation where Livio asks her if she sees him as a friend or family member. She replies that she sees him as Fosco's child. He asks if he's like her brother, but she insists she hasn't spoken to her brother in years. He compares himself to a cousin, and she tells him she once had a cousin Antonio who was much older than her, but she liked him. She would always write stories about Antonio in her secondary school's composition, but Antonio never noticed her till he relocated to Australia. He laughs at her that she has a crush on her cousin. The following day, everyone in the community play. Centine also plays with Livio. Anna carries Centine away, and on their way inside, Centine tells Anna she will marry Livio, where she grows old. Anna and Centine joke about this issue, and Centine keep insisting she will ask Livio to kidnap her, and they will get married. They both hear a noise downstairs, and as they attend to the visitor, they find out Fosco has been arrested for the gold statue. She visits him with Fosco immediately. He tells her not to get herself worked up and insists he will be fine. All he has to do is to lie to the police that he didn't take the statue from the graveyard. Livio asks if they should ask his uncle for help, but he refuses the help. While back home, Anna tries to meet with the politician in her community to beg them to interfere, but they insist they can't. She goes to revisit Fosco, and she sees he is injured. She is sacred and sad, but Fosco screams at her. He tells her if she knows she will remain unhappy, then she shouldn't revisit him. She is meant to help him with smiles and dress nicely, so he can imagine her at night. She returns home sad but finds Fernanda celebrating Livio's birthday. She gets angry that they could celebrate a birthday when her husband is in prison, but Fernanda tells her their culture doesn't allow them to cry and be sad, unlike her, a Sicilian. She goes to her room, and Livio comes to apologize, but she sends him off. After the party, she cleans up with Livio that night, and Livio's uncle arrives. He says he can't sleep, and he wants to visit Livio's late mother's grave. The next day, Livio meets with his aunt, who tells him his uncle confesses that he was the one that reported Fosco. He returns home and sees Anna has a male visitor. Anna tells him about the visitor. Red came to tell her they had found someone to help Fosco. Livio gets angry about her visitor and throws his bottled drink away. She tries to pet him to know what's wrong with him. The following day during a community party, he tells her something is in his eyes. She goes nearer to help him remove it, and he kisses her neck. He kisses her, and she returns the gesture until she gets her control back. She sends him away and returns to the party. He comes to meet her again while she is picking up her clothes. He asks them to talk about it, but she insists there is nothing to talk about. He tries to touch her, but she pushes him off. That midnight, he comes knocking at her door with only panties. She is also attracted to him, so she holds her daughter and touches herself. The next day, she pushes him out of her door and tells him not to try it again. That day, Livio turns her daughter against her. She goes to him at night and tells him he will be leaving Fernanda's home the next day, and he mustn't return till his father is back. He tells her she is in love with him, but she slaps him. Angrily, he goes out drinking with his friends and returns drunk and injured. She tries to care for his wounds, but he refuses. He says he is insane like his uncle and he will go and stay with his uncle. Eventually, she gives in to his advances, and they have intercourse. Anna visits Fosco at the prison the next day, and Fosco also sheds tears beside her. She returns home and continues her relationship with Livio as they kiss and play in the sitting room. They discover a neighbor. The girl who has also touched herself while looking at Livio, Stella, is looking at them. Livio confronts Stella but decides that even if Stella tells anyone what she has seen, no one will believe her. Anna can't accept the guilt of what she has done, so she informs Fernanda about it. In the long run, Fosco is released from prison, and the community organize a welcome back party. Fosco goes to the sea during the party, where he meets Stella, who informs him of what happened. After the party, he tells Livio they have to forgive each other, if not, they won't be able to leave in peace. Before retiring to bed that night, Livio and Anna share final suspicious glances. She returns to the room, and Fosco touches her for intercourse. He satisfies himself on top of her with a smiling face while Anna stays under him in tears. At the end of the movie, Livio gets married, and the family take their family photograph. And the movie ends here.